Hello crafty friends, I hope you're doing well today. Today I thought I would play with my pigment powders and make some texture paste using the powders and some texture paste transparent gloss from Ranger. This comes out of the pot white, but it does dry clear. And I've got some large scraps of white paper and my stencil folder, and I just want to put some different coloured texture paste through my stencils onto these. Leave them to dry and then die cut from them. Just going to neaten these up a bit. So I've got some texture paste on my mat. This is Indigo Blue Luscious Pigment Powder in Peacock. Tomorrow on my channel I have got a 21 ways to use pigment powders video. I also have a Pigment Powders 101 series on my channel. So if you want to watch the Pigment Powders 101 series, I'll leave a link to that down below. And if you want to be notified when the 21 Ways with Pigment Powders video goes live, subscribe and ring the notification bell. So all you do with this is take your palette knife, mix your pigment powder with your transparent texture paste. You can use, say, a white texture paste, but you might lose some of the shimmer and shine. There's a couple of lumpy bits there from the lid, I think. We'll get rid of those, we don't want those. I've selected this stencil. I think it's an old Stampin' Up one, but I got it from a charity shop. And because I'm not covering the whole thing, well, I might be, I don't know yet, depends how much texture paste I've made. I'm just going to apply it with the palette knife. I'm going to trim that down and put that aside to dry. And I'll take some close-up photos of all of these once they're dry. It's a good idea to clean your tools, your stencils, etc. with a baby wipe or some warm water straight after using texture paste so it doesn't dry in the gaps and change the pattern. Next, I'm going to use this stencil. I die cut this myself using a wobbly circle die and a sheet of mylar, which is a commonly used stencil material. And this is Unicorn Tears. So hopefully when this dries, it will give me a lovely subtle peachy pink with some shimmer and shine to it. Another thing I like to use to spread my texture paste through stencils is this tool, and this came from the kitchen aisle in a shop. It's just a cake icing spreader. I always find that if you see a good craft tool on YouTube or whatever, before buying it, go down the kitchen aisle or the makeup aisle and see if you can find a cheaper version that's already been invented. There we go, I like that. So I've still got a bit of texture paste left on there, and I'll just spread it like that, and that might give me something I can die cut from. For this one, I'm going to use this Tumbling Heart stencil and Rapunzel Luscious powder, which is a lovely gold. Again, there's quite a bit left, so I'll just spread that on there and let that dry. This luscious powder is fuchsia blue. It is a kind of magenta, but it's got a blue iridescence in it. And I'm going to use this Falling Circle stencil, one of my very favourites. Nudged it now, let's see if I've messed this up. Yeah, it's splurged a little bit under there because I knocked it, but hey ho. This stencil is very old and it's quite thin and it's kind of warped in places, so things do tend to seep underneath it. So I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll here, so I want to do a bit more. Not quite ready to quit just yet. So this is Warm Wishes Luscious Powder, which is quite a chunky glitter, gold glitter pigment powder. I'll just pop this through this distressed letter stencil. I think this was a freebie with a craft magazine. It might be Lou Collins, the design, and I've just stuck the palette knife under there, so it's probably smushed a little bit, but that's fine because it's grungy. So we've got some Cheeky Peach Luscious Powder here. Just going to add a little bit. And I'll add it to this kind of dash stencil. I think this one I got from Etsy. I think, again, this is a cake making stencil, an icing stencil. The remainder on this, spread it out a little bit. Give it a bit of texture maybe. You never know when something like that might come in useful. I'm going to leave all these to dry now, probably give them a couple of hours, then I shall make a card or two with them for you. Right, back in a tick. So all my texture pastes have dried now, and the pigment powder and the shimmer and shine is coming through beautifully. I've cut myself 6 hammered textured cardstock card blanks, and I'm going to cut a stitched tag out of each of my textured panels. I wanted to just show you this one. This was the Unicorn Tears, and it's really beautiful. All my tags are cut now, and I'm going to put high-tack PVA glue on the back and then attach them directly onto my card base. And I'll use my T-square ruler to get them lined up properly. I want to leave a significant portion of the card empty so that it still counts as clean and simple when I've finished. So they're all stuck on now. All I need to do is snip off the overhang. You could use a trimmer, guillotine, or scissors for this. For the next stage, I've cut some circles out of Vellum. They're stitch circles. And I've cut a double fishtail swoopy banner out of hammered textured white card. And I'm going to layer these over my focal point here. So I've gone for Vellum so that I've got a layer, but it's not obscuring everything behind it. And I'm going to put the banner across as well. And I'll do the same to all of them. Using glue on Vellum makes it curl a bit, but it will flatten out as it dries. And I'm going to help keep it in place with my swoopy banner. And I'm putting the glue just in a line on the Vellum so that it will be hidden behind the banner. And I'll use my scissors to chop off the overhanging bits. Right, I'm really happy with those so far. We've got a nice foundation for a focal image and some subtle texture and shimmer and shine and colour. For this one, I've got this bit of extra texture paste that dried here. So I'm thinking of die cutting a heart from it. I think that would work well. Just got to select the area that I want to cut from. So that could sit rather nicely there, and I think that stands out quite well. This bit of shimmery card was left over from this one, so I might do the same thing with that. I've got some of the leftover Unicorn Tears, but I'm thinking it's probably not going to show up very well. So I've cut a heart from hammered textured white cardstock, and I've put a bit of Ranger embossing ink from this Embossing dabber on my mat, and I'm going to mix in some more Unicorn Tears, pick it up with a sponge dauber and daub it all over to see if I can get some of that pigment powder to stick in a sticky way. Not really, it's very, very pale. Let's try just brushing it over. What I want to do is heat emboss in clear embossing powder over the top of this to give it a bit of dimension. Or I could just put a layer of gloss texture paste on top, couldn't I? That might work. Now, experiment time. This might lift the pigment powder off. I've got some of the dabber here, and I'm going to put it on over the top. Now, this is probably overloading it completely, but what happened was I gave it a good squeeze and this bit shot out and it spewed loads of ink everywhere. So I'm going to have to figure out a way of getting that back in the bottle. So we'll try a little bit more of this. We'll just dab it down, spread it around, and hopefully it will give us an interesting pattern and still be sticky enough to take some clear embossing powder. If not, I will rethink. You don't know until you try, do you? So it's got plenty of clear embossing powder on it. I'm wondering about tapping a little bit over the top as well. And, ooh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sprinkle on just a few grains of this Wow Opaque Ultra High White embossing powder. Now I'm going to need to heat this from the bottom, because if I heat it from the top, all that pigment powder and the ultra high is going to blow away. This is still a little bit warm and it's a little bit warped, but I'm going to flatten it in a second. But what I did was I melted that first layer of clear embossing powder, and then while it was still hot, I popped it back in the clear embossing powder, melted what stuck to it, and then did it a third time. So it's got 3 layers of clear embossing powder on it. It's pretty solid, but it's hot. If I just press it down into my glass mat, which is cold, I should just be able to flatten it out a bit. And that stands out nicely on there. For my peacock coloured card, I'm going to paint on here this bit of mixed media paper with some water and some peacock pigment powder, and let that dry. And then I'll cut a heart from it. And I might heat emboss that in clear again. So that's turned out lovely. Lots of shimmer and shine in that colour and gloss and dimension from the 3 layers of clear embossing powder. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with these 2 as I've done with this one. And then I'll pop on a sentiment. Once we've done that, I'll take some photos and show you the finished products. Right, I hope you've enjoyed today's video and it's given you another idea of things you can do with pigment powders. As I said at the start of the video, I've got a whole series called Pigment Powders 101 that you can watch after this video if you like. And tomorrow I've got a 21 ways with pigment powders video coming out, so do stay tuned for that. Right, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.